right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. When this happened, my dad, they put the casket in, and then my dad slams the door of the hearse. And he goes with his hands like you're knocking dust off. And he goes, "Let's eat." And people were like, "What? Huh?" So, Stong is right next to me. Charity Scam Mike. He's the one who told me the story when it happened, however many years ago. And so, push my dad in. And I look to Mike, and I slam the door of the hearse, and I look at him. I go, "Should I say it?" And he goes, No. I go, and I'm like, to myself, I'm thinking, fuck that. I go, "Let's eat." Turnabout is fair play. And they all look at me, and Mike goes, "That was," and then he explained the history of that joke. And, oh my God. So it kind of came full circle. And boy, did we eat. That's what you do, you know. And then back to Marquis' house, where Dad and Joanne, or where Joanne is now, and had a birthday party. I went ahead and got a birthday cake for Pooh Bear. We sang happy birthday. There was a ton of kids. And my youngest niece has 3 kids, and they're all very young, very, very young. And they remembered the last time that I was there for Thanksgiving when we did EZ WrestleFest. And I remember talking about this with you, but kids will drop everything if you wrestle. So sure enough, they see me, and now I'm Uncle Fun. I'm actually the great uncle. They go, "Uncle Eric, can we do WrestleFest?" And I'm like, oh, man. And it's intense. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it. And, you know, they were like coloring or playing puzzles or building a puzzle. And then we did the WrestleFest. And these kids beat the hell out of me. And it was like a 15-minute marathon workout is what that was. This stain on this sweatshirt's driving me nuts, by the way. I mean, it was full on screaming. And like the other parents are there, and they're like, all the other family members are like, "Oh my God, what have you done?" I was like, "Well, you know, too bad. That's it. You gotta, they're going to sleep well. You got to have that intensity. There's got to be somebody who engages these kids. And we like beat each other up. It was great. So much so that they go, "Hey, can we do it again?" I'm like, no. Next time I see you, once per visit. That is all. Great Uncle Eric is checking out. All right. I'm going to take a break. I need to go potty. So far, so good on the stream. I did hear, like the last time we met was on Thursday of last week, and the stream was very wonky. And I think Arena Nick told me that there was like some type of worldwide outage of various nonsense. I don't know. But that might have had something to do with it. Rebecca says, "I love being the fun aunt. I'm always the one jumping in to get dirty with the kids." Yeah, 100%. Thank you for the reminder about workplace staff meeting at 11 a.m. There isn't one today, but I'm glad you mentioned that, because then I can mention it to you that I don't have one. You'd all be like warning me, "Hey, you got to get to your meeting," you know, but there isn't one. So, okay, stand by. I will be right back. My God, I'll be right back. Going to take a quick break. Thank you. All right. Thank you once again to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. They help bring you this show with their amazing support. And I'd like you to go there if you have any car issues. They can help you out in any way possible with your car, with your regular car, whether it's a hybrid or an EV. They are the best. They've got free loaner cars, and it has been quite an adventure and quite an amazing show of support by the audience in taking their car to Irvine's when you have a problem. They are the best. They'll fix it right the first time. If you need more information, you can go to their website, ervines.com. That is ervines.com. You can also call at 616-532-6600 for Irvine's. When it comes to healthcare, if you get your healthcare from healthcare.gov, you might need a checkup. You might be like, I think I need a different policy. Frank Fuss is the man that you want to call upon for that. Frank is the absolute best. So if you are in between jobs, perhaps you are self-employed or your boss does not offer insurance, you got to get your health care. Get it from the marketplace, and Frank will help you out with that every step of the way. Frank Fuss, and you can make an appointment no matter where you are in the U.S. at appointmentwithfrank.com. That's appointmentwithfrank.com. E-Rock is here. He just subscribed. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. What's going on the radio? What's going on the radio show? E-Rock, one of the all-time favorites. E-Rock and I talk every now and again just about like various radio disasters. Like, who's the latest company that has done a mass layoff? I don't follow it as closely as he does. He has better sources. He says Cumulus has done has filed for bankruptcy. Their stock, Cumulus's stock, I just happened to look at it the other day. It was at 6 cents. And this is when I worked there at Cumulus, they had filed for bankruptcy and then came out of it while I was there and split the stock. And then it went, they ended up, it was on the what do you call it? The Dow or the New York Stock Exchange or whatever the fuck. And then they got demoted to like the pink slips, like Aerodyne on the Wolf of Wall Street, Aerodyne International with like Cumulus. So you get like some shithead selling some stiff 6 cent stock. So the fact that they've gone, filing for bankruptcy, how can that be where if you're a business, you're a legitimate business, and you're so in over your head that you file for bankruptcy and somehow they take away some of your debt? I've never done this. I don't know the ins and outs of it. And then they come out of the bankruptcy, and now years later, they're filing for it again. That's fucking disgusting. So you got these people who they owe money to. It could be individual people who buy the stock, or it could be big conglomerate or banks or whatever. And you file for bankruptcy again. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. You know what they should have to do? They should have to liquidate everything and sell all their properties and pay these poor fucks who are dumb enough to get involved with a radio company with that type of cash investment. It's fucking horrible. E-Rock says Beasley Media did a big firing around the holidays and again in February. iHeartRadio here in New York City is doing a big push for salespeople. They can't seem to keep anyone or they can't sell anything. Yeah, my God. Locally, there's a radio station in town here called Mix 95.7. And they just fired. They did the old position elimination. You got a guy who's on there in the morning show. His name is Joe Pesh. Used to be known as Flounder here when he worked in this town once before. Nice guy. Really, really nice guy. And a few years back, they bring in this chick, and they pair him up to do a morning show. The problem with this is nobody listens to this radio station. Like, they compete in the ratings for, like, the station that I do afternoons on. Like, that type of ranking. 8th, 9th in the market. The difference is they pay me, like, minimum wage to voice track it. There is no reason why on a music-driven radio station that the morning drive host should be live. I cannot believe they've waited this long. No one's listening for your witty anecdotes in between Mariah Carey songs. E-Rock adds, I got a story about a pal who was doing mornings in Vegas, who the company did several things, most violating contracts and agreement. He has a heck of a lawsuit against them. I'm waiting for big radio companies to have to sell FMs. Sell their FMs. Because can you imagine? I mean, this isn't that far-fetched. But if my old mates on GRD, can you imagine if Cumulus made available for sale WGRD and I bought it? How that first staff meeting would be? Hey, just like old times. How's it going? That would be so fucked. E-Rock says, I'm waiting for the head of iHeart to be investigated for being listed on Epstein's plane, island, and parties in Europe. That's right. That happened? Are you saying that you're just waiting? Wait a minute. It happened? That guy was there? So wait a minute. Are you telling me that my boss is on that list? Oh, no. E-Rock says my boss, too. I thought you got shit canned or something. Oh, my God. I don't know what's going on. You said something. I think you said you were doing something, and now you're not doing it, and then they are doing it, but you're still doing it, but whatever. Radio. They still have my show. Yes. Okay. I got you. All right. This story was dominating the news. It was the kids go and they toilet paper like the teacher's house. Gainesville, Georgia. Who hasn't done this? This is so fucked up. The kids in the school, they're going to TP the cool teacher, Mr. Hughes. And Mr. Hughes is at the house, and then all of a sudden he notices, there's something going on. And a bunch of the students are giving him the old TP treatment. It looks like any house that's got toilet paper on a tree. This is the house. Now, the teacher was kind of playful with the students. This is the teacher, and this is his wife. And this teacher is dead now. Here's the teacher, his lovely wife, 2 kids, great life, teacher. Here he is celebrating his birthday. And this is one of the kids who got arrested. His name's Jaden Wallace. And the teacher came out and was playfully yelling at him, "Oh, you got me." And then the kids are kind of like, "Oh, my God, here he comes." And the teacher doesn't care. He's all about it. And the kids go to drive away, and a freak accident happened. And somehow the teacher wound up wiping out and in the path of the vehicle. And they drove over him like Detective Queenan in what the fuck was that movie? God damn it. When they threw Queenan off the roof and then the mob guys drove over him. The Departed. And he's dead. Something just flew off the roof. And they ended up arresting the kids. They're all like arrested with like murder one or some shit. To me, that just sounds like an accident. This doesn't sound like anything that could be prosecuted. To me, how the hell do you charge the kids? It was the fucking teacher wound up in front of the car. I think he wiped out or something like that. I don't know how it actually unfolded, but the wife now of the deceased is saying, yeah, do not charge these kids. She's great. I love that. She's so sweet. Her husband loved those kids and was excited to join them in the prank. 5 teenagers were arrested after teacher Jason Hughes, 40, was run over when he slipped and fell while chasing the dudes for, it's a tradition that's been held for years. He wasn't trying to angrily confront them, but was excited and waiting to catch them in the act, the wife said. Family fully supports getting the charges dropped for all involved, the grieving widow said, saying her husband loved the students who face up to 15 years in prison. Teacher stepped out of the house at 11:40 p.m. Thursday and walked over to the cars that the kids were getting into to flee. He tripped and fell into the road, which was slick from rain, and was run over by Wallace. The horrified teen stopped to check, and they provided first aid until emergency responders arrived and transported him to the hospital where he died from his injuries. They were arrested with charged with criminal trespass and littering. Well, that's the 15-year charge? I thought it'd be like manslaughter or murder. How stupid is this? How about actually doing an investigation and take your time at it instead of immediately arresting these fucking kids who are already going to be fucked up for the rest of their lives? They just drove over their favorite teacher and killed him. Married father of 2. And the best these assholes can do is arrest him. Rich writes, throw the book at them little fucks. For what? What? How? The teacher was in on it. For throwing toilet paper? It's their fault. You got to be kidding. There's no way you could say that with a straight face. My God. Thank you to Man Bun Chris. He has checked in. Scott is here. All right. The next thing I want to get into. So there was that massive hoarding incident that happened. And 3 of the puppies that were rescued of the 100 or so, maybe a little less, were given to our very own Maureen, who is with us in the chat most every day. I think she's still here with us now. Branjo says, anyone else hear something in the background? You probably hear my heater that's running. So she's got 3 of the puppies as a foster family, nursing the dogs back to health. And they're finding homes for these dogs. Brangelo says, no, it's not a furnace. It sounds like a newscast or something. Yeah, there might have been something there. I don't know. If it's there, if it was there, it's not there now. Well, we had a clip of the guy. It might even be here. This is the update going on because the family that were abusing these animals, they have taken off. They're on the run. And hopefully they'll be arrested.
Now faces felony animal cruelty and torture charges in what prosecutors call one of the worst animal hoarding cases they have seen. 65-year-old Kim Shires and his wife, 61-year-old Brenda Shires, are charged after police seized 69 animals, including...
This is the face of a guy that, like, if someone said, hey, how do you think someone would look if they're accused of hoarding 100 animals? And this is what I would picture in my brain. This guy right here.
65 dogs and 4 cats, along with 27 dead animals at their...
Okay, now did you see the look on that dog's face? That's a scared ass dog. If you have a dog that looks like that, you might as well just plan on loving him up. Am I getting an echo? Is something going on here that I'm not aware of? Getting various comments that the shit has hit the fan on here. Says the video was echoing. I don't know why. Tell me if it still is.
With 27 dead animals at their Elms Road home on February 11th. Investigators say the home was filled with urine and feces, and 27 dead animals were discovered in garbage bags outside the home. Surviving animals were taken to Genesee County Animal Control for treatment and adoption. Authorities say the couple wasn't home when officers arrived, and their whereabouts are currently unknown. Police are asking anyone with information to contact the Flint Township Police Department.
That's what I'm talking about. If you have a dog that looks like that, shaking like that, and looks, you see that side eye? That dog is scared to death. Oh, that breaks my heart. There has never been a dog that looked like that in our house. Every dog at my house they're like, if my dogs could look at that and say, holy shit, they'd be like, what the hell is wrong with that dog? That is not the way dogs are supposed to look. Dogs are supposed to look like this. Cashed out on the couch and ready to go in an instant to go bananas or take a dump. Which, by the way, you can't see O'Neill here right now, but when we got back into town after Dad's funeral, that was on Saturday. So Saturday night, I'm exhausted. It's time to go to bed. And, yeah, O'Neill, I'm thankful that when he doesn't feel well, he has enough sense to leave the area where it's carpeted. And he basically carpet bombs the bathroom. And none of it is, like, able to be picked up. It's basically like if you were making chocolate pancakes. That's what the white ceramic tile flooring, 12 by 12 squares in my bathroom look like. After O'Neill did that, it was fucking horrific. And I didn't even know what happened. And then Pooh Bear gets up, and I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And she goes, uh-oh, I smell poop. It was like 3 a.m. I'm like, what, huh? And so my eyes are barely open, but I can see her. And she flips on the bathroom light. And she goes, oh, my gosh. And now, normally, this is something that I find. Now, in addition, he will do it in the bathroom. But if you leave the shower open, He will, in the walk-in shower, he will go into the walk-in shower and do this, which I always thought was an even bigger win, because you can just turn on the shower and flush it all down the drain. I mean, it's all going to go to the same spot. But no such luck this time. Poor guy. There you go. Maybe eat less poop. Anyway, they're going to find these bastards. And so of those 93 dogs, there was like 23 dog carcasses. You asshole. The former coach of Michigan football, I suspected this would happen, has pled guilty. It seems like when something like this happens, you're in more trouble when the charges first appear. If you remember, had the affair with the chick. She tried to break it off. He's like, I don't want to break it off. I love you. Holy shit. She rats him out because he wouldn't leave her alone. She goes to the athletic office. She's got the receipt. She says, hey, we've been having this affair. They immediately fire him. He then goes to her place, breaks in the door. He announces that he's going to stab himself with a butter knife. He runs out of the place. The wife pings his location, or does the where I am app or whatever. They find him. They arrest him for all sorts of serious shit. Felony. I forget what the felony charge was. But it's all gone now. By the way, Moore and his wife have fixed it. Mrs. Moore and him are on the same page again. And, that's good. That's good. I don't know if they have kids, but whatever. Hopefully he's learned his lesson and he won't be a fucking idiot anymore. And then, so at the end of the day, because everything's been dropped except for like one thing, it's all a misdemeanor now. He pleaded no contest on Friday to the misdemeanors, which resolved the felony. They take that off, which I was wondering, like, why? If you take the time and you want to bust somebody and you charge them with a felony, and then it never seems to come to fruition. Maybe it was a tough case to prove. I don't know. The deal was struck on the same day that a judge planned to hear a challenge to Moore's arrest in December on 3 charges. It's all gone now, as he'll be sentenced in sometime in April for misdemeanors. He's not going to get any goddamn time. This really isn't a big deal. I often wonder, when you're in a situation like this with Sharon Moore, your career is coaching. Does someone ever give that guy a shot again? Does he need a shot? Is he infinitely wealthy in the money that he earned before he got in trouble? Because I often wonder, if you're like that, let's say the career is over and he can no longer coach anywhere, no matter how hard he tries, he's never going to get a job. What do you do with your time? That's something that pops into my brain from time to time. If you have unbelievable wealth or whatever, what do you do to stay engaged with the world? What do you do for fun? I mean, if you don't have to work, you got to find something to do with your time. Because if you're super rich and you don't have anything like that you're working on, I don't know, maybe you volunteer, maybe you get into sports, maybe you're the neighborhood pickleball champion or whatever. Not having anything to do is what makes people crazy. And then weirdo shit happens to them. That's why you got to be careful if you got money. Because unless you got a plan as to what you're going to do with your time, then you have to do something with your time. I know Like Becca says, she says, I'd be on a beach somewhere. I could not just be leisurely. I couldn't do it. I would have to be doing something. I think I would build a cabin up north, like on my own. I would want to do one of those cabins where the guy builds it out of like just shit in the woods, and he uses hand tools. Have you ever seen those guys? Oh, which, by the way, I have been consuming some amazing infected cow hoof videos. That is my latest obsession when it comes to laying in bed and watching things. This sounds so bizarre. The guy is called the hoof doctor or whatever the fuck, and the cow steps on a rock and it gets embedded in his hoof, and then it gets infected, and then he's cleaning it out with he's cutting away all the bad shit, and all of a sudden this big geyser of hot disease, AIDS, cow pus comes shooting out of it, and it's like, yeah! Oh my God, that is awesome! Ugh. Piano Finger Banger says the beach would get old after like 2 weeks. All right. I think I would have to get a farm with goats, cows, and any other animal you can think of that's fun and adorable. And they would all be pets. Got to get donkeys. Donkeys are great. I would have a full staff to take care of them. And my job every day is to play with the farm animals. And I want, like, the cow shampoo. They got to be Highland cows. And they got to be, like, fluffy and blow-dried every day. Have you seen fluffy Highland cows? They're fantastic. It's like a giant stuffed animal. Alan says donkeys are dicks. Not if you love them like I would. Horses, donkey, maybe a burro then. Is a burro the same as a donkey? I don't know that it is. Whichever one is nice. Raccoons. Got to have raccoons. Possums. Have you seen that monkey Punch? The monkey? I'd have to have a monkey or two there. That monkey has captivated the world. And about 100 dogs. One in 3 Generation Z men believe something that may shock you. So Gen Z, what is the age group of Gen Z? People born 1997 to 2012. So 2 of my kids are Gen Z. 1 is a millennial. 31 out of 100 Gen Z men believe that the wife should obey the husband. A 1,000 men in the U.S. were surveyed. 310 said, oh, yeah, she's got to do what she's told. And you might be like, well, it's probably going down from different, like baby boomers, 13% of men said that. So it's going the wrong direction, in my opinion. Well, some of you might think that that is the right direction. Can you imagine if I actually said that to Pooh Bear? Hey, from now on, you have to do what you're told. This is what I believe. By the way, that study came out yesterday, which was International Women's Day. They the International Women's Day study published by Paris-based multinational market research and consulting firm IPSOS did the survey. Gen Z participants consistently responded with quote-unquote traditional views about gender roles. So I think that, isn't that called like a trad wife? Is the goal there to get women to like be out of the workforce and to be and submit to their husbands? By the way, I did about 15 loads of laundry over the weekend. I'm back into laundry. I'm back. And I even fooled. David says Gen Z are stupid, not a shock. Stevie says that's why they are incels, which I think that means involuntarily celibate. I have heard that people of that age, and some a little bit older, some a little bit younger, maybe not younger, men in particular, feel like they don't need wives because it's so easy for men to get sex these days with just the click of a button on an app. And that has short-circuited the relationship between man and woman, or man and man, or woman and woman, I guess. In this particular case, man and woman. And because of that, several men have become like very aggressive about what this is talking about in this article. In the survey, 57% of Gen Z men, this is equally troubling. So of the 1,000 people in the U.S. that were surveyed, 570 of them said, we have gone so far in promoting women's equality that we are discriminating against men. Now, if you're in the chat and you're like, yeah, I actually agree with that, don't be shy. Don't be like a scared that you're going to get in trouble. Okay, some of you probably do feel this way, that we're doing too much to promote women's equality. I guess my question is, what does it hurt to promote women's equality? The only thing that I would have a problem with is if a woman was hired over a man because they're a woman rather than the things that their skill set warrants. But I also think that women should be paid the same as men every time. 59% agreed men are expected to do, quote, too much to support equality. These figures are way up compared to that of the baby boomers. Who's the person that says, yeah, we're doing too much to help women? That's a weird hill to die on. The study comes as dialogue continues to ramp up. Stand by. About young men's involvement, specifically in the U.S., in something known as the manosphere. Websites, videos, and forums that promote male supremacy and advocate for traditional gender roles. I hate that they call it traditional. Just because it happened in the past doesn't mean that's traditional. That's a tradition you don't want to be a part of. There's a guy by the name of Andrew Tate who leads the manosphere. I've heard of that name. I think, isn't he the MMA guy that got accused of doing terrible things to a woman? I might be getting that wrong. A self-described misogynist believes women are responsible for men's romantic rejection, low self-esteem, and economic insecurity. There's more to it, and I'll link it up if you want to check out the article, but that all sounds ridiculous. The fuck would talk like that? I don't know, man. I just like somebody. I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And we're a team. What's wrong with that? You get this, I'll get that. But if you do my job and I do your job, that's okay too. I don't care. You support me. I support you. Holy matrimony. I get great joy out of making Pooh Bear happy. That's one of my favorite things in the world. I love the star on the forehead. That makes me happy. Like she said to me, she says to me when I brought up all the laundry, she goes, "You're a homemaker. It's like you're an old school homemaker." I go, "That's cool. Whatever makes you happy." I'm like in line. I live to make Pooh Bear happy. That's all I do. Maybe that doesn't sound fun to you, but I like it. I like it when she's happy. I like waiting on her. I like making her breakfast and lunch and dinner. It's what I like to do. It's fun for me. It gives me something to do. I have a purpose. Piano Finger Banger says it's not your job to make her happy and vice versa. What are you talking about? It is not your job to make her happy and vice versa. You're right. It's not. It's just something I like to do. I don't ever look at it as a job. I just like being a sweetheart to my wife. Murder Lover Linda says equality in everything except the WNBA. Piano Finger Banger says, LOL, I like how easy he thinks you can just hit a button on an app and get laid like ordering Chipotle off DoorDash. Do I say Chipotle? No, it's Chipotle. Right? Chipotle? You can. That's easy. Can't you just isn't there like meetups? You just, like apps for this? Isn't this? I could have swore that was a thing that you morons do. I will say this. I am learning that women of all ages, not just younger women, are much more aggressive about sexuality. Like if for some weird reason, hang on, I got to sneeze. I had to date, let's say, Pooh Bear, somebody Nancy Guthrie Pooh Bear, and I'm looking for a new wife. I wouldn't be able to handle it because, hey, let's go out. Let's go on a date. And then I pick her up at the house, and she's like, yeah, let's just go in and bone. I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be like, I can't handle that. No, there's got to be some process here. Fuck you. Nick is here in the arena. He says, yeah, just jump on the app, and 45 minutes later, hunka cheese, time for timer is at your door. Stevie says there are hookup apps like Grindr. Grindr's the gay one, I think. The one that Nick used to go on was, I don't know, the pleasantlyplump.com or some shit, localplumpers.com. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would get dumped because I wasn't aggressive enough. Because you just can't keep up with women these days. These women are sexually starved. I just want some companionship, somebody I can do the laundry for, pick up sticks with. I don't know. I'm just happy I got my Pooh Bear. This guy went into a bar and pulled a gun on somebody. His name is Cole Indiana Jones. I think this one came in from Cole, who's in Colorado. Not the same guy. He's from Moorhead, North Dakota, facing a felony charge. He pulled a handgun and held it to another guy's neck, and his name is Cole Indiana Jones. Charged with terrorizing with a dangerous weapon, a Class C felony in connection with the incident at the Herd and Horns bar. That's like where something like this would happen, at Herd and Horns. Little fucker. He's only 5'4". That's what happens when you give a little fucker a pistola. Of course, I'm only a couple inches taller than him. The general manager reported reviewing the security footage and sent the cops over. Video showed the guy approaching the victim. They spoke briefly before Jones pulled out a small black handgun from his waistband and held it to the guy's upper chest and neck area. Cops told police Jones said, "I wish I could put this in your mouth." That's what the victim said, causing him to fear for his life. He said he tried to de-escalate the situation before Jones put the gun away and walked off. A second cop said earlier he lifted his shirt to show the firearm before walking away. You know, they'll let him know that it's there, which that's brandishing. That thing must stay holstered all the time. And I don't know if he had it in a holster or in his pants, all ghetto-like or whatever the fuck. But no, if it's in the holster and you pull it out, you better be shooting. Otherwise, it doesn't come out. The last thing you want to do if you got a pistol is just be waving a fucking thing around at people, trying to intimidate them. Cops go to the guy's house. "Hey, you pulled out a pistol." "No, I didn't." He later acknowledged he may have flashed it, which is assault, by the way. I think. Wait a minute. Is brandishing the same as assault? Nick, you know this. Then they showed him the video evidence. He says, I don't recall anything. I know I flashed it to him, but I didn't discharge it. And they're like, we don't care about discharging it. You held it up to his fucking face. He was arraigned, and actually it's a preliminary hearing, and arraignment is scheduled for April 17th for our pal Cole Indiana Jones. What the fuck? What a fucking idiot. People are so stupid. Donut Dan says, LOL, deny. Nick says, brandishing and assault are separate charges. Starman with a good joke. He should have used the whip. Thank you to a few more of my sponsors, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Call Mario today, no matter where you are in the U.S., and get started on your pre-approved mortgage. 231-332-6505 today. Buy now, refinance later with Mario. We're getting close to the end, folks. If you haven't asshole of the day, leave it in the chat. We had some storms whip through the other night. Fuck. Tornadoes, not that far from here. Actually, were quite horrific. If at all you ever have storm damage, trees down on the property, call Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan. They'll take care of it for you very, very quickly. KUIPER, treecare.com, KUIPER, treecare.com, or call them at 616-828-8225. Call out to King's Room Barbershop when you need your hair cut. 3 locations, Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street. Haircut's going to set you back $21. Retired and active military, $18 when you mention your military service. Go to kingsroom.net for exact locations, hours, and schedules for King's Room Barbershop. Starman says Twister missed me by about 10 miles. Yeah, that was bad. This is the season. You need a little warm air, a little cold air. Next thing you know, bodies are flying through the air. This one took out 3 people, including a 12-year-old child. Horrific. All right, let's go over the asshole of the day. I don't feel like anybody stuck out to me as an asshole of the day. But there is one. It's the dog hoarder who's on the run right now. Yeah, but he's mentally... I don't care. Fuck that shit. That's your asshole of the day today. As we wrap up a broadcast day on this Pooh Bear's birthday, the 9th of March, 2026. As usual, you guys are great. I appreciate you. Tell your friends. You can also email me on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Get your T-shirts under merch at ericzaneshow.com, including the Shoreliners Striping Defector T-shirt. Starting to warm up. You got to get your Defector gear. Okay, my friends, thank you for the time. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later on Patreon.